Welcome back everyone. This is Attorney Mahmudul Hasan again on the EB1A series. In this part 6, we are going to cover the EB1A criteria that requires whether you have been asked to judge the work of others in the field or in a related field, either individually or as a panel. Let's dive into the video.
What does this criterion mean? Simply put, this criterion checks if you have ever been asked to evaluate or judge the work of other people, for example, your peers. This could involve examining their research, reviewing their articles, or deciding on the merit of their professional contributions. The work of other professionals you have judged or reviewed should be in your field or a closely related one. Let's go through some common examples where you might act as a judge in your field. Peer reviewing for scholarly journals. This is when a journal asks you to evaluate articles submitted by others. Proof of this might include a request from the journal asking you to do the review, and you should also show evidence that you actually completed this review. Conference papers, similar to journal peer review, but here you evaluate abstracts or full papers that researchers submit to present at a scholarly or professional conference, where you decide whether a paper is important enough to be discussed among experts at the conference. It could be an academic conference or professional conference. PhD dissertation committees. If you've been part of a committee that judges whether a doctoral candidate's work meets the required standards for earning their degree, this counts too as a qualifying contribution for this criterion. You would need to show records from the department to prove your involvement. Next, peer reviewer for government research funding. In this role, you assess research proposals to determine if they should receive funding. This is a significant form of judgment because it involves deciding which research projects receive financial support from the government. Another example could be an editorial board membership. Serving on the editorial board of a journal involves evaluating submissions for publication suitability. This not only includes peer review but may also involve strategic decisions about journal direction and standards. An award committee's membership. Participation in award committees that select winners for professional awards, grants, or nominations is a qualifying activity for this criterion. This role often requires assessing the merit and impact of various contributions in your field. Invited critiques. Being invited to critique or comment on published works in your field for journals or other professional outlets. These critiques help shape the discourse in your area of expertise and establish benchmarks for quality and innovation. Next, external thesis examiner. If you serve as an external examiner for a thesis at other institutions, especially internationally, this shows recognition of your expertise across the field. You would evaluate whether the thesis meets the required academic standards or not. Art exhibition juror. If you are in the arts, serving as a juror for art exhibitions or competitions showcases your expertise. You evaluate artists' works based on creativity, technique, and impact, influencing which artworks are displayed or win awards. Technical conference session chair. As a session chair at technical conferences, you often select or approve presentations, moderate discussions, and ensure that the content presented meets the high standards of the conference. This position highlights your leadership and evaluative skills in your field. Then, book manuscript reviewer. If you review book manuscripts for publishers, especially those that are academic or professional in nature, you provide critical feedback and ultimately influence whether a manuscript is worthy of publication or not. Further, accreditation committee member. Serving on committees that accredit educational programs or professional institutions demonstrates your ability to evaluate comprehensive curricula or operational standards against established benchmarks in your field. In addition, standards committees. Participating in committees that set industry standards involves evaluating proposals and existing standards to ensure they are up to date and rigorous. This could be particularly relevant in technical and engineering fields. Additionally, art and design competitions. Judging in competitions related to fields like art, architecture, and design, where assessment of creative works is based on aesthetics, technique, innovation, and impact. What you need to prove to meet this criterion. It's not enough to be invited to judge. You must actually participate in the judging. This means you should provide evidence of two things. First, you have been invited to judge the work. Second, you completed the work. You may consider following evidence to prove your actual role in judging the work of others. Emails or letters. Provide copies of any emails, letters, or official communications that show you were invited to participate as a judge or reviewer and confirmation that you completed the work. These communications should come from the organizing body such as a journal editor, conference committee, or funding agency. Next, official requests. If you were asked to serve on a panel or committee, include any official request forms or appointment letters that detail the nature of the judging or reviewing task. Sometimes journals, conferences, or organizations issue certificates or letters of appreciation to thank reviewers and judges. These documents are valuable as they explicitly confirm your participation. Record of submitted reviews. For journal article reviews, you can provide copies of your review feedback or a screenshot of the submission system showing your completed reviews. Make sure to redact any confidential information about the manuscript. Conference programs. If you served as a judge for conference papers or posters, include a copy of the conference program that lists your name as a chair or a reviewer. This shows your active role in the event. Meeting minutes or records for committees such as dissertation committees or funding panels. Include excerpts from meeting minutes or official records that document your contributions and decisions. Published results. If the outcomes of your judging are published, such as the list of funded projects you helped to assess or the journal issues where your reviewed articles appeared, provide these as evidence of the impact of your work. Media coverage. You may submit the media on the event or the competition where you were a panelist or judge and the media coverage mentions your role as a judge. What evidence you might submit to prove your role as a judge sometimes are industry specific. For example, design competitions. Architects or designers might serve as judges in design competitions. Evidence could include invitation letters from competition organizers and certificates or announcements listing them as judges. Award panels. Participation in panels that decide on awards for professional achievements in design or architecture. Submit award ceremony brochures or website announcements showing your name as a panelist. Industry awards. Judging peers for industry-specific awards such as innovation in technology or leadership in business. Provide brochures or press releases listing you as a judge. Technical review panels. Engineers might participate in review panels for technical standards or innovations. Evidence includes meeting agendas, participation lists, and summary reports of the panel outcomes. Hackathons. Technologists often judge hackathons, where developers create software projects within a limited time. Provide organizer emails, participant thank you notes, or media coverage mentioning your role. Music competitions. Musicians judging performances or competitions can submit event programs listing their role and any official correspondence related to their judging duties. Moot court competitions. Lawyers often judge moot court or mock trial competitions. Evidence can consist of competition programs, correspondence from law schools, and certificates of appreciation. Medical case conferences. Doctors and healthcare professionals might judge presentations at medical conferences or case discussions. Documentation like conference schedules and participation certificates would support this. Consider some examples to understand this more comprehensively. Case study 1. Aftab Malik, a prominent architect from Lahore, Pakistan, renowned for his innovative designs in urban development. Aftab served as a judge for the National Architecture Awards in Pakistan, where he evaluated entries based on innovation, functionality, and aesthetics. Aftab provided the official invitation from the Architecture Association of Pakistan, asking him to serve on the judging panel, as well as a certificate acknowledging his contribution to the awards. Case study 2. Dr. Naledi Amethewa, a biotechnologist in Johannesburg, South Africa, known for her work in genetic engineering. Dr. Amethewa participated in a government research panel to evaluate proposals for funding new biotech initiatives. She included the letter from the South African National Research Foundation requesting her participation. Dr. Amethewa also submitted the final report of the panel, listing her as a member and summarizing the decisions made regarding funding. Case study 3. Carlos Eduardo Gomez, a fashion designer from Bogota, Colombia, with several acclaimed collections inspired by Colombian heritage. Carlos was a panelist at the Colombia Fashion Industry Awards, where he judged emerging designers' collections. Carlos included a brochure of the event featuring his name as a panelist. He also provided a certificate of appreciation from the event organizers, recognizing his contributions as a judge and media coverage on the competition that highlights his role as a judge. Case study 4. Siti Amina, a software developer from Jakarta, Indonesia, specializing in mobile applications. Siti served as a judge at the Jakarta Annual Tech Hackathon, evaluating software solutions developed by participants. Siti included emails from the hackathon organizers inviting her to judge. She also provided the hackathon program webpage screenshot listing her as a judge. In part 6 of our EB1 series, we examined the criterion requiring evidence that you have judged the work of others, either individually or on a panel within your field. We explored various roles that fulfill this criterion, such as peer reviewing for journals, serving on dissertation committees, and judging professional competitions. Importantly, it's essential to provide evidence of both the invitation to judge and your actual participation in the judging process, which could include emails, official requests, completion certificates, and records of your decisions.
We end our discussion on whether you have been asked to judge the work of others in the field or in a related field, either individually or as a panel. Please leave your comments or questions in the comment box, and we will try to cover your questions or comments in a subsequent question answer part. Please follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn for more on the US immigration. If you would like to hire my service for your EB1 application, you can Google me. My name is Mahmudul Hasan. I'm an immigration attorney. Thank you very much for watching this.